Hello there, Facebook land. Rotate your device. I'm not rotating. It says you can't turn your phone. I don't understand that. I haven't turned it. I was just doing a quick catch up for y'all here in the land of Mike's Magic Car Detailing and Paint Enhancement. You may remember, some of you, this 1986 Oldsmobile Delta 88 has a very cheap, bad single stage paint job on it. As you may recall, I completely strip washed it and all that. Ended up, I think the last video I was experimenting with some different pads and products. Hey, Miss Kimberly, how you doing? Oh, that's how you wave back. Okay, I'm still figuring this out, Kimberly, this Facebook Live stuff. But the buffing just wasn't working too swift on this single stage paint, old as it was and cheap paint. So I ended up wet sanding the entire vehicle with 3000 grit sandpaper, and in a few spots I used 2500, what was really bad and had like a gritty feel to it. But I had to go very slowly, very carefully, because this paint's not very good, and there's a few spots that frustrated me, but I just can't do much more. Then I went back, compounded the entire vehicle with 2 different grades of compound, and then went back, finished it down with a very fine polish and a polishing pad, my usual Sonax materials, and my Lake Country pads. The majority of it I did with my rotary buffer, my Max Shine, now that I have it repaired. And then a few spots I went back with my little 3-inch dual action buffer and just hit some spots that the rotary kind of left a little bit too much of a trail or a hologram or whatever you want to call it. So, but overall, I'm pretty dadgum pleased with it so far. I've cleaned up the wheels and tires, the headlights and all that stuff in there. All up underneath has been polished with my polish and the football. This one has metal down at the bottom of the car. And the next thing I'm about to do is attack the glass. What I'm going to do is use a razor on it first, and then I'll clay bar it. Then I'll clean it up real good. Then I'll use a glass polish. I'll polish it. And then we'll put a sealer on that. And you see that trunk turned out not too shabby. I had to hit that like 3 or 4 times. It was stubborn. Some of this paint was very stubborn. The rear end came out very nice, I thought. Polished up them tail lights a little bit. I'll skip over the license plate. But that paint is way different than it was when it came in. I still need to go back and do some of the bumpers and stuff, but I'll do that last. Polished up those wire wheel covers there. That was a pain. Still got a little bit of more work I want to do on those. I'll use a Flitz polishing ball on those. I've still got to do, after I do everything else, I'll do the trim. Hey, Miss Glenda. How you doing? We're almost neighbors, I think. But I was just catching everybody up. I'm about to do the glass on this 1986 Oldsmobile Delta. As you see, the hood came out really nice. You know, that thing had almost no shine to it when it came in here. None. It's just single stage paint and no clear coat on it. A little bit harder to get it to shine. There's a wheel that I've already worked on with my Flitz polishing ball. I just wanted to see how it would turn out. It looks good. It looks real good. So I'm going to do the glass next, Miss Glenda. And then once I get done with that, I'm going to put I'll have to paint prep the whole car. I'll probably use IPA on it just to make sure I've got all residues off of the paint. And then I'm going to apply DPC ceramic coating to it, at least to one panel, and then I may try my Optimum Clear Coat Restore on a smaller panel, say like maybe way down low there or something like that. And then since my customer only lives a few miles away, and that stuff cures, I'll call him over and see what he likes best. The ceramic coating may be good enough for him, and that's what's included in this package that I priced out for this vehicle. Now, if he wants the Optimum Clear Coat Restorer, that's going to cost him a little extra. That stuff's about $100 for 9 ounces. But 9 ounces goes that stuff goes a pretty long way. But it costs a lot more than the ceramic coating. So we'll see. We'll see what he wants to do. I don't think it's fair to ask him to make a judgment without actually seeing it on his car. Miss Linda Harris, how are you? Down here in the world of Mike's Facebook land. Still trying to figure this Facebook Live stuff out. But yeah, I did. I just gave up trying to buff it down and went ahead and wet sanded it. And I think it made a huge, huge difference. As it is, Miss Tammy, my golly, how long has it been since I seen you? Good gracious. Many, many years, I think. I hope your daughter's doing good. Kathy Word. Hey, sweetie. You got your Trump shirt on? Oh, man. Just showing everybody where I'm at so far. Finished polishing this thing down, Kathy, and I'm about to get started on the windows. It's just the way I like to do it. And then I'm going to put either ceramic coating or Clear Coat Restore on here. I haven't decided yet. There's no protection on this paint. No wax, no nothing on it right now. It's just paint. Polished. It's been highly, highly polished several times. Trust me. A little bit frustrated with the roof. Some of y'all may remember that at one time it was a vinyl roof, and he took that off. And what happens is those vinyl roofs, a lot of times moisture gets trapped under them, and it causes rust. And what you get particularly is, see these bubbles right here, Miss Kathy? That's from moisture getting under the paint after they painted it. And then they put the vinyl roof on over the top of that. And that moisture that was trapped in there is just like, it's like putting a lid on a pot of boiling water, and you see what happened. There's rust under there. That bubble right there, there's rust. Rust, and there's rust over there. And you can see the rust here where the bubble has broke loose from the paint. That's just from improper prepping, improper painting technique, not waiting for the paint to gas, as they call it, and then putting that vinyl roof over the top of it. That's what really caused the biggest problem, because the paint couldn't continue to gas. Thank you, Miss Kathy. I do appreciate that. Yeah. Now I polished up all this metal trim, all that, all these plastic, vinyl, and rubber things. I'm going to retreat those, try to restore those as best I can at this price point, and we'll see how it turns out. But I think it looks, I wouldn't say 100% better, but it looks much, much better than it did when it was brought in here. So, hey, Mr. Mark, it would have been a good thing. We would have had fun trying out your new buffer on this single stage paint, bud. You don't know what I went through with this car. Hey, Miss Linda. Just showing everybody where we're at. We've wet sanded this single stage paint job on this 1986 Oldsmobile Delta, and compounded it twice, and then polished it in some places several times with different buffers, different types of buffers. It was just necessary, trying to get it as much a shine on it as possible at this level with this cheap paint that's on here. It's just a real cheap paint job. Hi, Miss Linda. Good to see you on here with me. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. So, I'm running out of things to say here. I just wanted to catch everybody up right quick. I'm going to get started on these windows. The first thing I'm going to do is take a razor blade to them. Then I'll clay bar them. Then I'll polish them with a glass polishing pad and a glass polish. Clean that off. And then I'll put a sealer on there. And make them look spiffy. They're all dirty, nasty right now from dusting, from the compound, the polish, and all that. I don't usually worry about that too much while I'm working on the car because I know it's just going to be a big mess anyway. So I'm going to get back to work, you guys, here before it gets too late to do anything. I try not to work past 6, sometimes 7, but I want to get this car finished up and get it the hell out of here. I'll see y'all guys later. Thank you very much for dropping by. I'll talk to you later, Mr. Mark.